Hi there, I'm Christine with What's Up Cupcake Whimsical Crafts, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I have so much to share with you today because I attended the Raleigh Book Fair on Small Business Saturday. This was the second time I had vended with Raleigh Book Fair, and this was the first time that the event was actually able to take place in the way that it was intended to, which was outdoor tent setups and lining the street of this cute little shopping area with vendors and authors and everything. The last time I participated a couple months ago, it was a rainy day and we kind of had to improvise how we were set up, but this time it was the full-on event experience. So I have some footage from the event that I'm going to share, and then I'm going to get down into the details about what sold, what I thought of the event as a whole, and what my results were. Also, if you've been following along, I have been taking all of the sales from my markets during the month of November, as well as my Etsy shop, and I've been taking 10% of all of those sales and tracking those numbers to, at the end of the month, which is now, donate to a local charity in the North Carolina area, and I'm going to be able to share the results with you. So stick around, grab a beverage, grab a project, cozy up, and let's get into this market. Cool.
Come back because everything's so cute.
All right, 2 little gingerbread men. All right, $20 is your total.
And I can just put them in this bag.
Oh,
That way
perfect.
You can save
Okay,
yourself a bag.
sounds good. Thank you very much.
Oh, that would be cute.
And your receipt was emailed to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not the tea bag.
The hat.
Hi, were you all set? Sorry. All right.
Actually, no, I already followed it, so I'm not going to leave it there.
$6 is your total. Would you like a bag?
No, I can put it in here. Oh, I didn't mean to use that
Oh, sorry. It's too fast sometimes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you. Yes, you too.
Thanks. The Taylor Swift drink sleeves have been a hit. I even got a friendship bracelet. It says Ophelia from a Swiftie that came through. And I did not make enough Demogorgons for this. I completely forgot to replenish them. So I'm making some baby, like bitty Demogorgons.
Also, the pistachio was very cute. I'm not like all of them look like they're about to raise.
A little bit, but
No, but I've heard good things.
This is the one that I read with you. That is so cute. Speed read. I was like, no way, she started after me. You put your page down. And I was like, me first. And then I never made it. I almost didn't make it to the second book. I got caught in the middle.
hi there.
Chubby owl.
Oh my gosh, the shrimp. He's so cute. They're so soft too.
Yes, I love using blanket yarns and stuff like that. Hello. Hello. Okay. All right, that is $6 exactly. Would you like a bag for that?
Oh, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Do you take card?
Yes, you can tap when you're ready. You're awesome. Thank you. Enjoy.
I've heard that's the one she did. What the Draco?
Hi there.
It's not the one that she wrote, but it's the first book she published that's similar. Like the other ones, I think have all been published not as actual books.
Have you read the Hermione fanfic? Because I do too. It's on my list.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting how odd that really would have been.
For Christmas or just you go ahead. Yes. And then do you want the box instead of the tote bag? Yeah. Okay. Are you getting anything else?
Cookie Mouse. Do you want to move over remarkably bright creatures? Yeah. Huh? Sure. Oh, yes. Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Getting a chicken?
Yes. Yum.
All right, that is $12.
I'll just use a card.
Oh, yeah. You can tap when you're ready. Is that all set? Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good
Enjoy your
day.
chicken. Thank you, you too.
My favorite.
My hands are so numb.
I was about to say, she's hidden behind the tree with eyelashes.
I was gonna say, what if I get it to her for Christmas? No, you're fine. Sorry.
Hi there.
Do a little gnome here.
Perfect. All right, that is $12 exactly. And your receipt's been texted to you.
That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Hello, little wizard frog. That is $16. You can tap when you're ready. Thank you. Enjoy.
They have one.
That bag is so cool. I love it.
Okay. Oh, I see. Clear part. Then it opens.
Hi.
These are so cute.
Thank you. I love the little cockatoo.
I'm so excited. I don't know where my wife is. She's over there somewhere. But she's obsessed.
Is it a surprise?
with them. Yes.
Oh, I love it. And a bat.
And the little wizard frog.
Yes. And
Do you make these?
I do.
That's awesome. You're
Thank
very
you.
talented.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
It's my stress relief. $42 is your total.
But I know you love it.
And your receipt's been texted to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we
Enjoy.
get this one too?
Yep,
Ladybug?
sounds
I'll
good.
stick it in the same bag.
Okay, perfect.
Drop everything while I do it.
All right, $10 exactly. And your receipt's been texted.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again.
His head. It's actually a really good fidget. I like it.
It's so beautiful. It's crazy. I just saw this. Look, it's Oogie Boogie.
I love your hat and that you found the frog. Okay. That is $12. Okay, 12 exactly. And you can tap when you're ready. Thank you very much. Enjoy. Hello. Couple chickens.
Yeah, I'm getting 2 chickens for my kiddos. Oh, that is cool.
$24 is your total. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
We got
You
it.
should finish with me.
Okay. I don't know. That's the only one I have.
I feel like you could set up in our neighborhood.
Got that.
You could. You know the sorry, I'm holding.
Oh, you're fine.
You know the lady who does the book truck? You could start just like that and just
And all right, $27 is your total. And your receipt's been texted to you.
This is proof that I bought stuff I don't need.
Or do you need it?
I do.
See? We still have almost 2.5 hours left, and it is looking sparse. These have been hit hard. Just a couple pickles left. He is so chatty.
I like these little guys. I don't think I even knew what ours were until Christine started crocheting them. She makes them all. She's sitting there in her office and she's plugging away at them and on meetings and stuff like that.
It's my stress relief. I'm very stressed.
If you see me come back here.
We'll be here. Get tomorrow.
We have a special guest.
Hi!
This is Jen from Space from Sunflowers. For Sunflowers.
Space from sunflowers.
Space away from sunflowers.
Just taking my time away from
Exactly.
all those squirrel things. Ugh.
Yeah.
She's like the big city.
Oh, you're gonna have to crawl under the table.
Choices were made, Addie.
Oh, my legs are so cold now.
I like that little heater. That's cute.
Oh my god, I got it for that last market that I did last year.
Okay.
But I couldn't get it to start
Oh. But you got started today.
because James is here.
James.
Speak of the devil.
It's magic.
Speak of the devil. He's coming. He's plowing through.
To this tiny town. She fucking hates it there.
Oh, there he is.
And the guy she meets there is actually one of her.
I'm gonna have to edit the audio on this.
Hello there.
Hello there.
How are you?
Good. How are
They
you?
sold out of everything already.
They were. Like they
What'd
had
you get?
everything crossed off.
So I did get like cranberry and white cheddar sourdough. She was not expecting to be sold out, and I could not find them. I had to go up and down the row twice. There is a different sourdough vendor here if you want me to go try that out.
I stopped by Sophia and she was fretting about
Oh,
not
were her
having enough
tapestries
things.
selling?
Tapestries? She had those, but she was saying her dragon bookmarks, like she's down to 3, and she's like, I had a ton of them, and I don't think I made enough.
Yeah.
Will you throw this back there, please?
I know. I was telling the camera I had not made more demogorgons for this. I forgot. I was making all the other things. And so...
Did you forget Stranger Things is this weekend? It's Stranger Things weekend.
But like I was doing all of these other things. And so...
Watching it with the
Meanwhile, I'm here. I have a list of 62 items I'm neglecting, and my markets are Wednesday and
I
Saturday.
actually felt like I did well on my list. I made 2 cookie mice. I've sold both of them.
Nice.
I made a cat bee.
A what?
A cat bee. I'll show you.
Oh, a
picture.
cat bee?
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Sounds adorable.
Hello.
Poltergeist is clown. I mean, the poltergeist clown is scary.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Oh my god.
Right, it's sold.
It's so yellow and
You shouldn't be talking. He wasn't even there. He left it.
You're all set. All upon you.
Yeah, he's a that clown frightened me as a kid. And the guy getting sucked into the tree.
Oh, that was fun.
Are you just gonna eat all of the fries?
Yeah.
You want to eat them before they go
Yep.
cold. I'll grab that guy. I have to find the rest for me.
Go check out the other sourdough.
Okay. What do you want if they have stuff?
I don't know what they have. If you haven't had baked by Bowerman, they're so good.
Yeah.
But apparently they're sold out of everything because he was too late to go there.
Oh, goodness. I can just put them in here.
Oh, perfect. There you go. $32. Yes, I have the Bumble Bears. So what other bears might I have? That might be the only bear option I have. You are all set, and your receipt was emailed to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like that sunflower Totoro is calling my name.
Oh, the sunflowers drooped though.
Yeah, I see Bumble Bear.
A raccoon. Kind of looks like a bear. It's in that basket right there.
I think he's in the back.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a bear for the
Yeah.
significance.
No, unfortunately, I did not stock up on bears this time. Sorry about that. I can't keep up. It is, but like I didn't bring all of my stuff.
Oh.
Because I'm trying to like streamline
Yeah, I hear
a
ya.
little bit and like, yeah.
You put Jamie next to the Nessie. I love it.
I normally put the Highland Cow in there too, but
It's Jamie, not Jamie Tart. Jesus, that's wrong show. Jamie Fraser. Next to the Nessie, because Jamie's from Scotland.
we are going to explore the market now. James is watching the booth. Let's go see Sophia.
All right. Say she's swarmed at the moment.
know.
Look at her booth. It looks so good. This is Sophia Clever Fox. Sorry. Ooh, that's cute. Ooh, I like those like sword bookmarks. Those are fun. Okay, I guess. Oh, here we can go this way.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't done any of this yet.
Oh, so exciting.
No, we walked along the back because it was a wall of people.
Don't mind them bickering behind me.
You're almost sold out.
Oh, treats for the dog. Did he not get anything for Una? Snarky
What do you
Co.
have?
Snarky Co. sounds like my kind of. Oh, is this Honey Press? It's Honey Press. Honey Press. I just bought a bunch of stuff. If I can get it to my bag. I can't tell because of the sun. But yeah, got some stationery. It's
I want
YGG.
to say something controversial.
Don't say something controversial.
People can listen to it.
I have been wanting to shop her booth for so
I don't like the
long.
enemies to lovers trope.
Oh, nice.
At this point, like I.
All right, we went to check on the booth, see how he was doing over there. He's doing very good. We're very proud of him. But now we're gonna go back to find Jen because we lost her somewhere along the way. But we were basically having a reunion. We saw Colleen from YGG Threads and got a sweater from her. And I saw Fran at Wanderlust. Look at that beautiful furry baby. Oh my goodness. She did. This is like a dream. Just a book truck. Okay, that was Colleen at YGG. Book club ladies!
Oh, yeah. There you
There you are. We were looking for you. Oh, here's Fran. Yeah. Did you get the? Okay. I just got a candle from here. I got this one. Saffron and tobacco. It smelled so good. And this is limited series candles. And then here's Fran at Wanderlust. Yay!
Don't get me in that video.
I'm not getting you in the video. Oh my god. You're
After all the begging
look at
you've
the
done to get
mush. That's so cute. Oh my goodness.
To commend you for the way that you keep up with your channel because
I love watching your videos and I need you to post more at a regular interval because I'm like, where is she going now?
I know. Actually, I have a trip coming up next week, so I'm gonna try and vlog.
Flying cake.
Suggest that has to take my
I had to get some toffee.
Yeah.
That's what she requests. My booth is empty.
It's so good. Did you try the pistachio?
No.
It is my favorite.
We both hate pistachio.
What is wrong with you?
A lot of things.
All right. It was good seeing you. Oh, I like those ornaments. Those are cute. I got a cup from this booth last time. There's Honey Press again. We'll show her booth next time since it's not as crowded. When I came by earlier, it was crazy. Let's see if we can get into Sophia's booth now.
Which is fine. We're just kind of.
It's so nice to be able to actually shop the market. Let's see how James is doing. He seems okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was waiting.
Oh my goodness, her booth is so crowded again. That's so good. Yay!
Yeah, I like that.
I started.
Look at her tapestries.
I'll have it again.
Look at that dragon.
How are you doing? You like it back? Okay. Oh, you're good. Feel free to look around. I can launch this for you if you want to. It does. Okay. Yeah. I just put
Hello. Maybe the best decision I have ever made for a cold market. It just takes one little propane canister. Okay, final view of the booth. The drink sleeves got hit really hard. Didn't sell any of the crochet tools except for one, notions. The last two of each of the pickles. Swing buddies are looking sparse. I know we sold at least one insect investigator. We actually just went ahead and condensed down the displays so that pack up's a little easier. I made another bitty Demogorgon because the last one sold the second I put it out. And so we got rid of one of the shelf displays and just consolidated everything. So I'm looking forward to checking how everything ultimately did. But we got another 15 or 20 minutes. Final pack up. Both of those Hulkins were stuffed to the brim with plushies when we got here. And now this one is partially filled with plushies. And that is not. This is the most amazing part ever. Yeah. And hubby is just taking the tent, and then he's gonna take that wagon to the car, then pull the car around so we can pack up. So this Raleigh Book Fair was a really fun market to participate in for numerous reasons. First of all, I love to read personally, and I have found, knowing this all along, book people are my people, but also as a crochet vendor, book fair people are my people. So they just really get my creations. I try to really lean into the book themes, or just making things that I thought would kind of stand out to people attending this event. So that was one of the aspects to, you know, kind of consider as I was going into this. Side note, I have two of my cats in here, and they are getting ready to, like, I don't know, there's gonna be a rumble. So if I get distracted, it's because they're gonna show down. There's, oh my goodness. Let me see if I can get this on my camera so I can at least capture. It's also very, when I insert the clip of what I just showed, it's a little chaotic on the floor, and it looks very cluttered because, one, it is, but also because of the way I have to set this up to film. I have to like put stuff right up against where I am so that you're close enough and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, we're just going to sit and stalk and wait to pounce on the other cat. So this is gonna be great. I can't wait to see how this plays out on my feet. Okay, so this event, I just had surgery last week and the event was on Saturday, but I spoke to my doctor and he was very confident that I should be well enough to participate in this event as long as I was kind of taking it easy and not, lifting heavy things and so on. So my husband decided to join me at this event, thankfully, and help me kind of man the booth, do a lot of the heavy lifting, literally, when it came to setup, breakdown, all of that fun stuff. So I don't normally have event support with me from start to finish at an event. He comes and he helps set up, and then he usually leaves and, does stuff with our kids and comes back. This time he stayed the entire time. So that was really nice to have. And I also had some friends pop by throughout the event. So as you saw, there was time where I was actually able to go out and wander the market and do a little bit of shopping. And I saw some of my vendor friends, some that I have met before or that I've interacted with because we'd been in some of the same market scenes, but haven't like had our paths cross in real life. But maybe we'd already been like chatting on Instagram or social media or whatever. So it was fun to actually like have those conversations in person this time. So that was really neat. And then also just seeing how everyone was doing at this market, because it was a bustling market. There was basically, the market was from noon to 5 o'clock. And I swear, as soon as noon, that clock struck, it was like a surge of people came into this market. So sometimes you have people trickling in as it's leading up, but it just felt like there was an on switch that happened right at noon, and all of a sudden things were crazy busy. So that was really fun. The setup time, I want to say, I should have written that down. I think it was at 10, but there was no map provided in advance. And it was basically, the instructions were given of like first come, first served for setup, which that's fine. It did say, come early to get the best spot. And as an eldest child / I'm always early for everything, and I'm an overachiever, I was like, we need to get there really early because I want a good spot. So we got there, if setup was at 10, then I got there at 9:30. It was something like that, or like 9:45. And there were already people waiting to get in at that point. And Sophia from Clever Fox, I saw her when we were like waiting to be let in, and she said they got there really early and actually went to the grocery store and came back because they were so early. So, people definitely were like, get there early for the best spot. Yep. So that did lead to quite a bit of chaos. The road was like closed off. You couldn't drive down it. And I've done multiple events at this location. It's Raleigh Ironworks. It's like this shopping district kind of area that's still pretty new. Like there are still spaces within it that do not have stores or restaurants, but it's definitely like building up. And each time I've gone, there's been more and more there. And I think it's really close to a lot of residential areas. And it does have some good like restaurants and breweries around the corner and within it. So it does get a lot of traffic, especially during these markets. So you know, it's one of my favorite locations, honestly, to participate in a market because of that. I, knock on wood, have not had a bad market there, just from the sense of like people actually attending and participating. The cats have just vacated the room one at a time. There may be an ambush still. Who knows? Okay, so this, when the doors opened, we were the first car, because again, overachiever. We were the first car to be let in because we had lined up right at the front of where this spot was. So we were one of the first people to be placed. There were a couple of bookstores that were attending that were having like booths, in addition to the fact that there were some like book trucks. So the trucks were let in first, and they were parked on the street already in their respective locations. And when we were let in, we were immediately placed next to, I'm guessing, kind of the first vendor that was placed. We were placed right next to this major bookstore that's opening in the area called Brightside Books and Wine. And Brightside is actually, there's a Kickstarter that was completed, and so it was fully funded. They're going forward. They've opened like a pre-shop called The Prologue that is already open, but they have been a very big presence at the Raleigh Book Fair in these last two markets. So that was, it was actually, I was very excited to be placed next to them for multiple reasons. One, the last instance of this book fair, they were a couple stalls down from me, and I ended up talking to the owner of it, and she had recommended a book series to me. So then I went and read that book series, and I was obsessed with it. And so I was able to like report back. And then because of that also, I was like, what are your other recommendations? So I gave my husband a stack of books, basically, that were suggestions that he had to get me for Christmas. They weren't suggestions. So that was fun, being next to them. But also, I mean, it meant that they are a decent presence in the area and are very popular. So we were going to have like a decent amount of foot traffic just from that alone. So we weren't on the main strip, which kind of had me a little anxious, and not that we would be even far off of it to where someone would be like, oh, I'm not going down there. But it was enough where I was like, oh, I don't know. But then when I saw that I was next to Brightside Books, I was like, oh, it's fine. I'm not worried. And then there was actually another bookstore on the other side of me, and I don't remember what they were called, and I don't know if I captured their name, but I was just basically in between two kind of bookstore options. And the other one, I don't know that it's like a dedicated bookstore, but they did a lot of the like blind date with the books, and they had bookmarks, Kindle cases, things like that. So I thought like I was in a really good spot for the market, and it didn't seem that we were completely in our 10 by 10 space, like butted up next to each other where we wouldn't have space in between. So we actually were able to like space out a little. So 10 by 10 was like the general amount of space that we had. All of us kind of had the ability to have customers come in to the side if they needed to or whatever. So it worked out nicely. It didn't feel like claustrophobic out there. It was cold. Not as cold as some of y'all where it's been snowing and things like that, but it definitely was like the first really cold day that we had in Raleigh for the season. So I was a little anxious about that, but it was dry. So, you know, there's things I can work with, and rain is not one of them. Dry and cold I can do. So that was great. We were able to just really bundle up. I brought a little propane heater thing that you just bring, one of those small canisters of propane that you get at like Target, and that was a lifesaver. I had used it before at my last market of last year when it was freezing, but I didn't know how to turn it on, and my husband, you know, needed help with that or whatever. Be right back. So I had my little propane heater, and that was amazing. I had it mostly on the floor, just away from kind of anything that could be a hazard to it. And it also has like a automatic shut off if it gets like knocked over. So that was reassuring too, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't near tablecloths or any of the tent walls or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, overall, I felt really prepared for the market as it related to the weather, having a general amount of items for the booth. If you watched my last video, you saw a lot of the makes that I had kind of crammed out to get ready for this market. One of the things that I definitely was not prepared with was the baby demogorgons. I completely forgot about Stranger Things. Like, people were talking about it all week, but I just had so much going on between my surgery, everything I had on my mind already of things I wanted to get done for this market in terms of market prep. And then, like, I was getting caught up on TV during my recovery, but it was not Stranger Things. It was like trashy reality TV. So I'm all caught up on Selling Sunset, if you want to talk about that. So I forgot about Stranger Things, and I had one baby demogorgon, and it sold really quickly. So then I was like, as you saw in the video, frantically trying to prepare more baby demogorgons. But yeah, overall though, I felt like generally prepared for the market. I was happy with my booth layout, and it felt busy pretty much the first 3 hours from 12 to 3, I'd say. It felt busy, like a steady stream of people coming through. I was just kind of blown away about the consistency of people coming in to shop, buy things, and like what they were finding. A lot of it was all things I had been making over the last week. So the baby dragons were selling like crazy. The little magic frogs sold out really quick. Nibbles the mouse, gone. I had 2 of them. I should have had more. But you know, there's only so much I can make. I am one person making this stuff. Things that didn't sell as fast that I was just surprised about or didn't sell at all. None of my splooting animals sold except for the Avalon Crochet splooting cat. They got a lot of attention, but I don't know if it was just, especially at the beginning, there were so many choices of things that they just weren't being picked. But yeah, I didn't sell any of the splooting animals that I sold at like my last market or, you know, before that, things that had just been selling really well. And then my snowy owls. I don't know. It was weird because the snowy owls have been selling out consistently at every market I've brought them to, and I've only sold one. So I don't know. You know, it's just kind of strange. There's always things that surprise you when you're at these events, and that was very surprising to me. Also, the new nutcrackers that I just made for this market, not one sold. I don't know if it was the price. I did them at $22 because they're time consuming, and I mean, they're, I don't know, like this big. You can see in my previous video, but there's a lot of color changes. They're not hard, but they do take some time, and maybe I could have done $20, but I don't know. I felt like, to be fair to myself, for the amount of time that went into it between the complexity of like the color changes and things like that, the amount of sewing you do with the features of, you know, the beard and the hat ornament and like the jacket, the arms get sewn on. It felt, 22 really felt like it was a reasonable price, but maybe it is, and it was just not the market for it. So yeah, the nutcrackers didn't sell, which I was very surprised by. But overall, like, I was just really, there's those things that you don't even think to put out because you're like, oh, people won't want that this market, or I put it out but I don't have space right now, and then later space opens up, and like my husband started replenishing things from what I had brought, and I hadn't brought everything that I had just because I've been trying to like really streamline what I'm bringing to market so it's not so chaotic looking, and focusing on things that I know like are going to be my intent going forward of I'm going to always have these in my booth or whatever. He just started putting things out and they were selling. So we'll get into the line by line of what those were, but it's just funny how that stuff kind of works where you're like, no one's going to buy that. And then they do. And you're like, oh, okay. And I try to tell myself constantly, like, just put it out because that'll be the one thing that you don't think will sell. And it is. If only there were more space. I wish, I'm so envious of Tabs at Safari Stitches has had a couple booths now that have been like double-sized booths. I wish that I had an opportunity to do a booth that large at a market like this, but I find that these markets right now that I've been participating in are very competitive to get into, and you're really just given that 10 by 10 space if you're given any space at all, like if you're accepted into it. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'll take what I can get, but it's definitely, I think that I could do so much more if I had more space. It's probably fine that or better that I don't, just because, the amount that I would overwhelm myself in terms of preparation and things like that. But yeah, let's start to get into the details of the market itself. We are going to go through this in no particular order, just the order that it is listed in Square in the report that they give me. So I have yet to finish out what order that is, because it's not alphabetical or by price or anything. It's just kind of all over the place, but they are clustered in groups. I'm not going to go through transaction by transaction kind of breakdown. I'm sure there's a way I could pull that report, but that's not for us today. All right, so I had 3 items to start with that were custom items, so there was no detailed amount. 2 of those, I believe, were the little gingerbread men that I showed in the video, and they're $10 each. And those are from, I think, an handmade crochet pattern that I made a bunch of last year, and I sold out of them constantly last year. I just didn't make any more this year. I had a few left over from the end of last year's season when I had a couple markets where like no one came. So those were really, items that were very holiday specific, that they may have been out to one market in the previous year. And then when the holidays ended, I was like, you will come back out again next year. So those did pretty well in general. And I know at least 2 of those unidentified items were those. I'm guessing, I have a feeling the other item is maybe the bitty Demogorgon that I made, because I made one on site and didn't have time to enter it into the system because the customer, like, I literally put it down the shelf and I heard someone say, I'm getting that. And she like walked over and grabbed it before anyone else could touch it. So that I sold for $20. And then the 2 gingerbread guys were $10 each. So that might be what those 3 non-described items are. I sold one of my Notions bags. That's the little pouch that has heat transfer vinyl attached that I print out on my silhouette, and then it has a little felty patch. I think this one was actually the Yarned and Dangerous one, which I have the stuff to actually like make them how I had intended to make them the first go around. I didn't have the right patches that I wanted. The patches that I had were still really cute, but it wasn't the one that like I had the original purpose of doing. But that one was on display at my last 2 markets and got so much attention each time. So that one went, and it was for someone who was getting it for a friend as a gift. I sold 2 pocket penguins. Those are the indie-made pattern, again, that is like the gingerbread man, but it's a little penguin. So those were $10 each. I sold 1 cockatoo on a swing. That is a mod that I made just in terms of colors and like threw a little tuft of yarn on top to look like a cockatoo. So all of my swing buddies are $13. So I sold 1 of those. I sold 2 swing pigeons, which again, another mod that I made just in terms of colorways. And then 2 swing snowmen. All of those are all from Jade. So those swings were doing really well, and I do have more swings later on, I'm sure, in here. But yeah, definitely sold some more swings. All of these items and patterns that I'm discussing will be linked in my profile below, or just go to whatsupcupcakecrafts.com and you'll see a link for my favorite patterns, as well as my preferred supplies, things that I shared in the video, like that little heater, the rolling cart that I brought that's like a 2-layered thing. That is my new favorite market, like setup, breakdown item. I also bring a wagon. Yes, I did bring a wagon this time. But generally now, between the wagon and that and maybe my Hulken, like I kind of can get everything really together. But that cart, it's like a 2-level thing, and the top level has a basket, but you can collapse the basket and not use it if you don't want to. It just holds so much, and the wheels are so smooth. It locks in place. It folds down really easily, so I just slide it under my table when the market's going on. I love that. All of that stuff is linked in the description below in my link for whatsupcupcakecrafts.com, and those details are under the preferred market supplies, or preferred supplies in general. All right, back to what I made. I made 3 wizard frogs. I sold all 3 of them. I will put pictures also in the corner of the image when I have it. And the wizard frogs I sold for $16 each. So definitely making more of those for my next market. This was the second time I'd brought them to a market. The first time I only had 1 and it sold immediately. And then this time I had the 3 and they sold pretty early on. So definitely making more of those guys. I sold 1 Oogie Boogie. This one was the Nerdy Knits pattern, I believe, this time. And that was $35. I sold the 1 Demogorgon baby for $25. I sold my Derpy Tiger. It got lots of attention and it sold fairly early on, but there were definitely some kids that came by where the parents were like, let's do a loop. If you find something else, like we'll come back, we'll see, whatever. And one of those children got it in their first pass. So the Derpy Tiger, it's from the Nocturne Cat crochet pattern, and that was $56. And I believe that was the one made out of Elise Softy Plus, so it kind of had like a fuzzy feel to it. Yeah, so I was very excited for that to sell, and people were just excited to see it. I sold my little Ponyo. You probably saw that in the video, but it's a little goldfish girl in a green bucket. So she was $20. I've had her out for a couple markets, and she would just be such an obscure reference. If you didn't know Studio Ghibli, you'd be like, why is there this green crochet bucket hanging on a thing and has a little girl in red in it? That's why. I sold my 1 small Totoro that I had, which I sold for $16. I sold 1 axolotl for $25. I sold 1 of my chunky axolotl dolls for $24. I sold 1 bee bear. That was the Nooks Hooks pattern of the bear in a bee suit. That was $32. I sold a slouchy capybara from the All From Jade Couch Buddies pattern. I sold that for $20. I sold 1 cappuccino, and that sold for $25. I sold 1 chubby owl for $25. 7 chunky chickens. It's the maple chicken pattern. I sell them for $12 each. I put weighted pellets in the base, so they just have a little bit more heft, and people love those chickens. So I keep making them. I sold my puffin, so that sold for $25. I've had that for a while, and I love that puffin, but people often call it a toucan. I think there needs to be more education on puffins because they are adorable. Oh wait, I actually had 2 puffins. So $25 was the one I did in purple, and I think the person who bought it is really into flamingos. And we were just talking about, she was asking if I had flamingo things, and then ultimately she was like, I just like birds that are a bit more obscure, so I feel like I have to get this purple puffin. And I was like, of course. So she got the purple puffin, but then I also sold the smaller puffin. It's the same pattern, I just did different yarns for them. And that one sold for $20. And those are both the Junebug and James pattern for the puffins. I sold 1 chunky sloth. That is a lovey. I sold 1 flower sprite. I think that's the last one that I had, and that was $22. I sold 2 gnomes. All of the gnomes were left over from last year markets, and it was funny because last year people just weren't into the gnomes, and this year they've been really into them. So I've been selling them pretty steadily. And that pattern is just the gnome from the All From Jade swing pattern. I just made it in Bernat blanket, and I made a bunch of them. And I did put weighted pellets in the base of it so that it is very much a standing thing. But yeah, I saw those for $12 each, which I think I originally had them for more, so maybe that's part of why they weren't selling quite as well. But they were, they're Bernat blanket. They were like a decent size, but they don't have eyes on them. Like there's nothing, it's kind of more like baby safe almost because of that. I don't know. I sold my narwhal for $25. That was like the Bernat blue speckled yarn that's just really colorful. And it had some really pretty eyes on it, so excited for that to sell. I sold one raven for $13. We have a special guest.
Yay. Hello.
Okay.
Bye, Mom.
Bye. Love you too. I sold one shelf goose, which that sold while I was away from the booth. Walking around, my husband told me that he sold that, so that was $30. And the splooting cat, that was like the most random kind of purchase from someone. I think it was $42. That cat takes a lot of work. I love it, but I think with the paw changes on it, it definitely takes quite a bit of time and work. And I made that one. The one that sold was in Naughty Pony, and it was the light purple color, and it was so cute. I love that one so much. So I was very excited for it to go. But it was like a grandma with her grandson, and they were just kind of walked over and looked for a second. And it was when we were consolidating the shelves on the booth, and I just moved like all of the plushies from one shelf to the other and collapsed the other one. And I put down the cat, and she's like, we're gonna take that. I'm like, okay. I sold one T-Rex. That was the last T-Rex that I had. They were the slowest of the like punny drink creatures that I made. The axolotl and the cappuccino generally sold more than the T-Rex did. I made two of the T-Rex and like held on to them for quite a long time, where the other ones just kind of sold consistently. But I think the T-Rex, maybe I love a capybara, but I think the axolotl is just really cute in the like plushie that comes out of it. But the T-Rex, it's like a little dinosaur, and there's like a tea bag like string hanging out of the cup. I just think it's adorable. But yeah, sold one of those for $25. Sold one thick toad that was in the video. It was a girl came in and she was wearing this bright green beret that was like a frog head with like the frog eyes, and she was cute. She was probably like 13 or 14, and she walked right up to that thick toad, picked it up, showed it to the person she was with, and like came and checked out. So sold 3 flower pops, 2 mushroom pops. I'm guessing I'm probably out of both of those at this point, so I should make more. I sold 1 potted poinsettia. I couldn't think of the word. It says potted lily because my husband rang it up, and he called I was walking with my friend, and I had to leave my phone behind because that was my hotspot for the cash register system. So he called and was like, this has no tag on it. How much is it? How do I ring it up? And I was like, look up potted because there are other potted plants there, and just pick one of those. So he did that, and that was $18 for the poinsettia. And that pattern is from Minnie's Crochet Friends. 10 drink sleeves sold, and I sold almost all of the ones that had Taylor Swift patches, but I might have like 1 or 2 left, and then one of the K-pop Demon Hunter ones sold, and then other ones were just like coffee ones. So yeah, drink sleeves did really well. I do those at $6 each or 2 for $10. And the majority of people just got 1, but still 10 of them. It was nice to see those like doing well. The insect kits, I sold 1, and it was the ladybug kit. 1 raccoon snuggly. That was another lovey, similar in style to the sloth. I think both of those patterns are Mama Made Minis. 2 fuzzy capybaras. I think I had 3, so 1 left. 1 Chibi Totoro, which I didn't put out. My husband put out when he saw that things were getting low, and it immediately sold. So he was like, told you so. 2 of my Cookie Mouse from Notting Hook Crochet. Her Nibbles the Country Mouse. I just do it in the colors of if you give a mouse a cookie and they're flying. And those were $20 each. 2 flower blossoms. Those are the patterns from Crochet by Patty or Stitches by Patty. and those are $12 each, and those might have been the last two that I had. So I definitely need to make some more, especially getting ready for spring. But it was funny because they didn't sell for me in the spring. They sold for me in the fall and the winter this year. So one hippo at $16 and two penguins at $16 each. And those penguins are AQ Crochet's penguin, and they had scarves on both of them. 4 positive pickles, 3 positive potatoes. I did not have any fine apples. I just did not have time to make them and didn't. So I'm definitely making those for next time. I sold 1 cat bee. This was a new pattern I had just done, and I stumbled across it on my Etsy and immediately was like, I must own that. So yeah, the cat bee sold pretty early on, and it makes no sense whatsoever, but I love it. 1 small octopus, that's the Do Cotton pattern, Olivia the Octopus, and that is $18. And 1 sea monster, that is the pattern from Palms and Posies. A sloth snuggly. I swear there was another sloth. Oh, the other sloth I had is like a mini sloth. I don't even know who the mini sloth pattern is from, but the sloth snuggly is the Mama Made mini pattern. 6 small dragons. All of the small dragons I sold were the ones that I had made this past week. I did not sell any of the ones that I already had in inventory, which happened to be 2 orange ones, which I'm surprised. I kind of thought like at least one of them would go because it's the colors of one of the like 4th wing dragon characters, but people just wanted all the like brightly colored dragons and like blues, greens, purples, so on. So those small dragons, it's the free pattern from Amateur Hour, and I sell those for $17 each. I sold 1 swing bat, 3 swing ducks. All of those ducks were just yellow ducks because I haven't had time to make more mallards. 2 swing Kirby's, so I'm out of those, and 1 swing penguin. That is the list. So where does that leave us? 66 transactions for this event. So that was pretty great. It was a 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock market. So I'm super pleased with 66 transactions. It also definitely felt like it was, the booth was pretty sparse in my mind. So by the end of it, so like, you know, there's that. I could have definitely had more stuff, and I think I would have sold a lot more if that was the case. But again, there's only so much I can do. So that being said, let's take a look at the final numbers. I'm getting out my other journal because I wrote down like my details about the final donation and all that fun stuff. Okay. For this market, my total sales were $1,539. The booth fee for this market was $100, which is very reasonable for this area. I find most of my booth fees are like $120 to $150. So $100, I was good with that, and especially making $1,500 on this market. Of that $1,539, $6 were discounts. That was probably like the drink sleeves. I think one person got 2 fidget poppers, and I had a sale at one point of buy 2, get $1 off or something. And I never took that discount code off of my square, and so it went through, and it's fine. Taxes, $100.69, and the breakdown of what people paid, $1,475 was in card, $64 was in cash, and I had $47.54 in square fees. But overall, that meant that my total gross sales for this event was $1,444.31. So that was a pretty fantastic final market of November. Of my markets in November, that was definitely the best one aside from, that was the best one. So that was really exciting. And that meant that I could go through and total up all of the details from this market and the other markets I participated in to figure out what my donation amount was going to be for Backpack Buddies. So just going through what my previous donation amounts were. Mistletoe Market was $82. We're doing 10% of sales from my markets. The market from my previous company, that one had like no market fee and all that fun stuff. And I didn't factor in market fees when I was doing this. I just did 10% of sales. My work market, $123 was the donation amount from that. This book fair, $144. Etsy and offline sales this month make up the difference. And I'm not going to give the numbers of Etsy in terms of like the totals that I sold on there, but I'll tell you what the 10% is so you can do the math and everything. But between those markets, Etsy, my offline sales, and then I also decided to throw in the sales from the fundraising market that I did, where I only sold like $200-ish worth of stuff, but there was no booth fee, and 10% of what was made at the market I donated to that Mental Health America fund, which would have been like $23, I think, and I just made it $50. So I decided to throw in the sales number from that too, just because it was going to help me get like a nice kind of evenish number. So the total amount that I donated for Backpack Buddies, and as a result, Backpack Buddies is not a standalone organization. It's done through, as I was like going to do the donation, I wanted to make sure too I could get donation matching from my husband's work, because his company does offer 100% matching of donations up to like $10,000, and we knew that was not going to be an issue. So Backpack Buddies, the overarching company that does it is Interfaith Food Shuttle, and I put a note that the donation specifically to Backpack Buddies is part of it, but I'm fine with the food shuttle getting the money in general. So I donated $850 towards Backpack Buddies, but my husband's work confirmed the donation was received and eligible for matching, and that it was matched at an additional $850. So $1,700 went to Interfaith Food Shuttle for Backpack Buddies in the month of November. Thank you so much to everyone who shopped my Etsy shop, who shopped my markets. I am so thankful to have been able to contribute to the community in this way. It was just such an amazing feeling to hit that submit button on the donation. And then when my husband forwarded me the email saying, your donation was matched, it was just really fulfilling. I did not have plans with the business this year for things like this. It was just kind of let's see how everything goes and if I even make any money from this. So yeah, it's just been a very exciting and fulfilling year, and to be able to contribute like that during my birthday month with something as simple as like a donation to a food bank was really great. So thank you all so much for your support this whole year, but this month of November especially. Sadly, November is over. We've moved on to one of the other Burr months. But I did decide for my Etsy to keep the 15% off discount that I was offering during the month, but I took away free shipping because Etsy doesn't differentiate, or at least from what I have found and not been able to change whatsoever. When you turn on free shipping, it's automatically free shipping for $35 or more. You can't choose the amount. It can't be like $50, whatever. So that's fine. But people can say, I want expedited shipping, and you pay for that as part of the free shipping. And not like express, but still, shipping can go from being $4 to like $16 real quick. And some of the things I'm selling, like that's more than what I'm selling. So it just wasn't making sense to keep that up. And that's part of why I'm going to be working on some things over the course of the rest of the month of December. But essentially, I wanted to make sure too, with the holidays coming up, I'm going to have a cutoff date of December 10th as the last day to order from my Etsy. And then I'm going to put my shop in vacation mode for the rest of the month. I'm going to start working on moving my shop over to its own site on Shopify. I'll probably have something else on there, on Etsy, like little things, but my full shop will be on Shopify. And my prices will be lower as a result of that because Etsy takes out so much in fees. But I feel like I'll have better control over my inventory as well. I had a lot of issues with inventory this year between selling things on my Etsy, in markets in person, then on Palm Street. Like there were definitely times where I sold something on Etsy and I'd go to pack it. I'm like, I don't have that. And I'd have to contact someone, or I'd have to frantically make more eyes in that color or print something on my 3D printer, whatever. So I just want a more streamlined system. And I know that with Shopify, without paying extra crazy fees like I would have to with Square, and then also Etsy integrations and all that, I can do a barcode system and it can track from my online shop and my market inventory. So I don't know what it means for Palm Street or anything like that. That's not on my radar right now, but that's my plan going into the new year. But this way for December, if I cut off shipping on the 10th, my store closes on the 10th, then I can get everything out to the post office by that point and, see how things go in terms of hopefully everything's then delivered on time. I just don't want to cut it close with any shipping deadlines, especially if things are gifts that are being sent out to people. That's not the level of stress that I need during the holidays. And this will give me time to kind of reset, do inventory of my shop. I have a bunch of new things that I'm going to be making and releasing over the course of this next month. Well, making with the intent they will be released in January. So I have really fun things in store. And again, you all have made this possible with just your support and seeing what I can do with this and the fact that I could contribute to my local community as a result. So thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed this recap of my Raleigh Book Fair. But I have 2 more major markets coming up to wrap up this year. So the first one coming up is this Sunday, and it is the Patchwork Market in Durham. And I am so excited for this market. I have tried to get in with the Patchwork Market organization all year. My cat's chirping. I've tried to get into any market with the Patchwork Market company all year and just never had any luck. And then this is a 2-day market and I got into the Sunday instance of the market. So I am so excited. There are so many vendors that are participating in this market that I admire, that I like drool over their stuff. I actually did some online shopping in advance of the market as they're releasing on their Instagram, like who's going to be attending, because I saw some things that would make some great gifts for people in my life. And I was like, oh, I have to get that before the market because I don't know if they'll have it. And I don't know if I'll be able to shop while I'm there because I don't know if, it's going to be me solo again or whatever. It is an indoor market, so I don't have to do the big robust setup that I normally do. So I can very much do that on my own. But, something to think about. But I think it should be a really good, hopefully well-attended market. And then I have one more market returning to this same location, Raleigh Ironworks, and that is going to be the weekend after. I really hope the weather cooperates because we are getting some weird weather here in Raleigh, North Carolina. We've had a lot of sleet and winter mixed conditions in the forecast, which is not normal for here at this time of year. So we'll see. I got 2 weeks, so I'm not going to stress about it, or a week and a half. But that should be another big market because, again, Raleigh Ironworks is just a really great market location. So I'm excited for that one. And I have so much to make because I sold out of so much stuff at the market this weekend. So it's a fantastic problem I have, but I'm definitely stressed. I have already been filling up my little baskets of projects. So trying to get ready for those markets. If you would like to follow along and see where this journey continues to take me, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. If you click the little bell icon on the subscribe, you'll actually get notified and it's a higher chance that it'll actually show up in your feed. I have found so many people that I subscribe to have just fallen off of my feed because Etsy, YouTube is pushing all sorts of creators that I don't follow, which I appreciate finding new creators, but I'm like, but where are the people I follow? So yeah, just something to think about. If you enjoy this content and would like to see more, it really helps me out if you hit that subscribe button and follow along. And I hope to see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.